Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, March 2nd, 2020, first day of the new trading month and last hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but during the last hour of the day, I believe you're going to see the most valid prices. During the day, the regular session of the day, you have the day traders, you have the algorithms. They're battling it out. I consider it mainly just noise. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions coming in with size, best information, best technology, very smart people, and they take control of the price movement away from the day traders and the algorithms in the last hour, particularly in the last few minutes of the day. So I like to make my buying and selling decisions based upon what the large financial institutions are doing at the end of the day, how they're moving the price at the end of the day. So I am primarily an end of day trader. Past couple weeks, I have had some nice day trades that I've shown you just to show that, the setups that I use do work on any time frame, any market. That's what's called robust. The best trading systems work on any time frame in any market. But no day trades today, actually. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I really do appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing everyone. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 598 points, 600 points now. 2.4%. NASDAQ is up 1.86%, and the S&P is up 1.96%. So the Dow Jones, clear winner on the day. So there was some talk over the weekend. The Bank of Japan came out with some central bank solutions that the market seemed to like. It's been crazy over the weekend. We were down about 300, I think maybe more, 400 points, and now we're up. So fantastic. We needed it. We needed a little relief rally after last week's carnage. So very, very happy to have a nice up day, have some nice profitable trades today. So Gamer is here. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. He says, hi, Greg and all. Evan is here. Good to see you, Evan. Always nice to see Evan. Thank you for coming by. JT, hey, buddy. What's going on? Haven't seen you for really nice to have you back. Says, hi, Greg. And back. My computer crashed. Had to buy a new one. Oh, man, that's a pain, isn't it? But I'm glad you're back, and thank you. Hello, Kamal. Good to see you, my friend. I know Kamal's having a good day. Dan, I'm glad SPY Trade did well. The market seems to know how to mess with my head. Yes, it always does, doesn't it? With everyone's. Hey, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Always nice to see you. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here and have you in the chat. Steve says, volatility is back with the vengeance. Now the key is if the lows hold. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is this a dead cat bounce? Are the lows going to hold? Are we going up from here? If I only knew, right? Hey, Bob, good to see you. Bob says, hello, all. Zach says, hello, everyone. Good to see Bob and Zach. Steve says, I went 3 for 3 today with SPY Q, overnight SPY trade Qs and AGQ so far. Yes, sir. 3 for 3. It's always good, right? When you run the board on those. How is AGQ doing? I know Steve bought silver at the end of the day. Oh, nice. Up 1.54%. Steve bought that on Friday with the under 30, over 30, and it's up 1.5 today. So very nice, Steve. Glenn says, hey, Greg, still don't feel comfortable about this market. We could be entering the center of a hurricane soon. Then the worst will whip us all later this month. I don't disagree. Problem is we just don't know, do we, Glenn? Right? I've had gut feelings about things, totally turned out to be wrong. Sometimes they're right, so it makes it even more confusing. Again, this is a good time to say, really all you can do is have a plan, have entries, have exits, position size correctly, and it's going to win or it's going to lose. That's about all there is to it. As much as we want to force it with our mental powers, it doesn't seem to have any effect. So really all we can do is look for good setups, take them. They're going to win or lose, and on to the next one. Some will win and some we will lose. All righty, let me take a little look-see here real quick. Okay. All right, so here is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. We're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my 3 positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward, either to the upside or the downside. Then we have a few trades that some of you have put up on the board. We're also going to take a look at those. After that, like every day, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. Most important skill you can learn. Trading is fairly easy. I mean, when you really think about it, trading is not that hard. You have to learn the support, resistance levels, all that kind of stuff. Yes, you do, and it takes some time. But once you do that, coming up with the plan is not that hard, but following the plan for some magical reason is the hard part. Just like if we want to lose weight, we know what we want to do, right? We should exercise more, probably eat better foods. We all know that. That is the rule, right? That is the secret sauce when it comes to losing weight. But sometimes, even though we know, we don't do it. So I would think about trading like that. And if you're not following your rules, think about it as breaking your diet, or eating some junk food. So it's the greatest skill that you can learn in trading, in my opinion. And so I like to touch on trader psychology every day. Hopefully, if you hear this every day, I know I beat you over the head with it every day, but if you hear it every day, hopefully a little bit will seep in and have a positive effect on your trading. After that, I've already gone through the list, my watch list. I've gone through each stock one by one. I have 3 requirements when I look to enter a trade. One, I want to make sure I look for a confluence or a combination of indicators like MACD or RSI, moving averages. I look at each indicator as a potential group of buyers, and you will put yourself in a much better position probability-wise to have a profitable trade if you are with as many other groups of buyers as possible. The more group of buyers, the better, right? Makes sense. Why would you think a stock would go up if there was no groups of buyers at all, right? So the more groups of buyers, the better. That's why I like to look for a combination or a confluence of indicators lining up, same time frame, showing me that there's potentially several groups of buyers or a combination of buyers, groups of buyers lining up. That's step 1. Step number 2, want to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio. I want to be able to make sure I can at least make 2 times, 3 times, 4 times to the upside compared to what I'm risking on the downside. That is also very important. Step 3, just make sure you do not have too many positions or too many correlated positions. The methodology that I use is I'm never going to put more than 60% of my capital to work at one time. I use a 10% position size. So with the maximum, I could have 6 positions at 10%. I could have 12 positions at 5% if I chose, but then that's a lot to kind of manage. So, and I very rarely have 60%. So now, I always talk about correlation. You don't want to have too many correlated positions. You don't want to have too many tech stocks, or you don't want to have too many auto stocks. You don't want to have just too many stocks in general. You don't want too much account heat. So, there's definitely some setups today, but I have to kind of counterbalance that with what I already have currently as positions, and have to really think about what I want to add as positions in relationship to what I currently have. So anyway, that's the fun part. I know we have a big up day like this today. We do have a lot of signals. It kind of makes you want to get in. But, let's temper that a little bit, make sure we're looking at risk as our number 1 priority first, instead of trying to pile in and make a lot of money. So we'll go through, we'll see. I've already identified some in my watch list that meet all 3 criteria. Okay, after that, after the market closes, if you have any stocks that you'd like me to look at, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, you need some clarification, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. If there are any stocks that you think would be helpful for the group and that are time sensitive that you'd like me to give you my opinion on before the market closes, please go ahead, put a star by them so that I know they're time sensitive. Otherwise, I will cover them at the end after the market closes, just to make good use of time. Okay, so that is the plan. So I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Kamal says, I sold Philip Morris earlier in the day, non-technical position close. Okay, good. I hope you made a profit on it, Kamal. Kamal had a bunch of trades, so I believe you've had a good day. I hope so. Anyway, hey Marco, good to see you, my friend. Always nice to have you here, sir. Hope you're having a nice evening in Slovenia. Frank is here. I think we have a poem. Frank says, risk first, reward second. Boy, isn't that true? Risk first, reward second. This a trader must reckon, for danger does beckon. We don't bet the ranch in an avalanche, be focused and calm. Sit high in your saddle and you won't be a cowboy who's all hat and no cattle. So good. Risk first, reward second. This a trader must reckon, for danger does beckon. We don't bet the ranch in an avalanche, like last week. Be focused and calm, sit high in your saddle, and you won't be a cowboy who's all hat and no cattle. So good, Frank. Thank you, sir. Always appreciate that. Always amazed at your poem writing ability and just how prescient what you're talking about is. I mean, just how relevant it is. Hey, Mount Doji, what's going on? Good to see you, sir. Okay, well, let's get to it. MasterCard. So I did buy MasterCard on Friday about 5 minutes before the close, and I got a great price on it. I got a price of $288.15. Today it is $297.47. Currently up 2.49%, which puts, I think, this trade up about 3% based upon where I bought it. I hit two profit targets here, one at $294.57, one at $298.89. You know, couple things here. I mean, obviously it's good that it's up. Currently, as is, it looks like we are rejecting the third ATR channel above us and perhaps the 100-day moving average. Now, it has moved more than one ATR away from my entry, which means that I will now start using a trailing stop with a close below the previous day's low. However, if this does close under the 100-day moving average with this gap up, reverse back down with the low, or with the close being lower than the open, and a rejection of the third ATR channel and a rejection of the 100-day moving average, I'm either going to, just take the whole position off or sell half. You know, my half rule, when I'm really torn on something, I like to sell half because it keeps going up. I still have half and I'm still happy. If it goes down, I'm still happy. I'm happy that I sold half. So, you know, this will be a judgment call depending where it closes. If it closes both above the 100-day moving average and the negative third ATR channel, I definitely will hold it because then there's no red flag. 50 is my initial profit target. The first ATR channel up here is my ultimate profit target. But if it does close below the 100 and the third ATR channel, I'm either going to, just lock in profits on this trade or sell half. I'll just have to see where the market closes and what it does at the end of the day. But anyway, great trade. Really happy with this trade for sure. Microsoft also got a great fill on Microsoft on Friday. I bought it a little bit before the market closed and then it just rallied strong after I bought it. I bought it here at 160.60, We went under the 100-day moving average, over the 100-day moving average. We went under 30, over 30. That's a great confluence of a dip buy when you go under the 100 and then close above, and under the 30 and close above. And this one did not disappoint. Now, this one's a little bit more clear cut for me. My ultimate profit target's up here right about the 1 ATR channel. I have two intermediate term profit targets on this. The first one is the 50-day moving average. The second one is the 50 RSI. This is the blue line. The gray line here, that's the 50-day moving average. We have already tested the 50-day moving average and rejected it today. So we have moved more than 1 ATR for my entry. Normally, if it had not rejected the 50 RSI or rejected the 50-day moving average, I would get out with a trailing stop with a close below the previous day's low. However, because this has rejected the 50-day moving average already, that is my signal, right? That is my signal to just go ahead and get out of the trade. Might continue up, who knows? Might go down, but the only thing you have control over is creating a plan, looking at your signals, and if your signals hit, just go ahead and take it off if that's what your plan is telling you. You're not always going to be right, but sometimes you will be and sometimes you won't. And it takes a lot of the mental anguish of should I, shouldn't I, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Just, let your signals take all the stress and agony off your shoulders, right? So if this does close below the 50-day moving average, I will go ahead and just lock in profits. But so far, like I said, I got that good entry there. So far from entry to where we're at right now, 4%, so not too bad overnight. So again, if it closes below the 50-day moving average, I will go ahead, take the trade off. Okay, world famous SPY trade. I mention this each day in case we have some new viewers. I do want to cover it. I do buy the SPY ETF tracking, S&P 500 ETF tracking every single day at the close of the market. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this not based on technicals, resistance, support, anything like that, just based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. She's the chief investment officer of Charles Schwab. So in this approach, with this back test, they tested two approaches every day since 1993. Option number one, buy the SPY in the morning at the open, sell it at the close in the afternoon every day. So if you bought the open, sold the close, bought the morning, sold the afternoon. If you did this every day since 1993, you'd return a negative 13.9% return for all your troubles. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do and what Steve Burns does, buy the SPY at the close each day instead of the open, buy it at the close each day, sell it first thing the next morning. So buy the close, sell the next morning. By the afternoon, sell the next morning. And if you did this every day since 1993, you'd have returned a positive 634.2% return. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That is true on any trading methodology, but I would rather allocate capital towards something that has a good long-term track record than something that doesn't. The blue line is the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning. You can see it has ups and downs, but the equity curve over time just goes up, showing that it does have an edge, at least so far, right? The orange line is the buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon, and it does not have an edge. So I'm going to go with the one that has an edge. Last year, it did very, very well with this approach. This year, with all the volatility, definitely I am down on the year so far, but the year's not over. So this is just something that I take every single day in the afternoon, sell it in the morning. So that being said, I did buy it Friday, the close at 296.26. Sold it this morning at 298 even. Wait, is that right? Let me make sure. I might have moved. Yeah, 298 even. 298 even. I planned that, by the way. No, I'm kidding. So bought it at 296.26 and sold it at 298. So made about $1.75 overnight. So that is good. Grateful for that. And I will be buying that again today at the close. Okay, let's take a look at a couple trades here. So Murrett has had this Nokia trade for a long time. He bought it back here at $3.95 on the 7th of January. It's been up, it's been down, it's been up, and then it's been down. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure Mert has a plan for this, but Mert, if you're out there, let me know what the plan is. Let's see, here we go. Here's Deanne. Here's our friend Deanne. Look at this nice trade she had on, well, not nice trade because she's still down on the trade, but she did buy Twitter back here on the 24th of February, 35.83. Immediately went down with all the drama from last week, but nice big up day today, 6.63%. I read an article. It looks like Jack Dorsey, they're trying to get a new CEO. And I guess the investors like that. From a technical perspective, it did reject the 200-day here, which is not so great, but I'm glad Deanne had a good day there. Glenn and Kamal bought, I think Glenn bought it on one day, and I think Kamal bought it on another day. That's what's confusing when we have different days. But either way, you're both up on the trade. I think Kamal bought this yesterday with the rejection of the 200-day and probably the rejection of the 30 RSI, I believe. Oh no, Glenn bought it here a little bit earlier. That's right. Glenn bought it here a little bit earlier. He was going to get out with the close below the 200, but looks like it's holding. So up 1.36% today. So nice trade there. Kamal also bought Philip Morris yesterday and we went under 30. Over 30, under the 200, over the 200, under the negative third ATR channel, over the negative third ATR channel. A lot of good indicators here lining up at the same time. Earlier I talked about looking for indicators lining up at the same time, and this is one of them, up 1.98%. I think Kamal told me that he did get out a little early. And then, well, okay, so this is Deanne. Deanne bought this VXRT, Zanet Medical Holdings. Bought it here at 260, but it's down 21.95% today. So Deanne, if you're out there, make sure you have a plan for this trade. I'm not sure when you got in exactly what your plan was to the upside or the downside, but please make sure you have a plan on there at least, right? Okay, let me take a little gander over here. Steve Burns says, Frank needs to publish the first book of Traders Poetry. I'm telling you, I think it's a wonderful idea. There's a huge market out there for that. I think every trader would have a book, would have Frank's book. Zach says, truth. Mount Doji says, I didn't get into MA, but I am considering an ETF that contains it called iPay. Would like to hear your thoughts on iPay. Well, we're still not over the 30 RSI. We're still not over the 200-day. We did reject the 200-day moving average. I don't know how that back tests. It's down today on an up day, which, I'm not usually a big fan of that. Not quite a V1 either. If you're dying to get in it, maybe use that 250-day as your initial close below that. Or, if you wanted a little bit more confirmation, wait for it to go above the 30 RSI and the 200-day moving average. That's how I would play it anyway. Mount Doji. Gamer says, Steve, do you like the QQQ like the SPY? Do you do the QQQ like the SPY just after market? I seem to remember that does backtest well also. But anyway, maybe if Steve's out there, he could answer that. Hey, Bing He, good to see you, sir. Deanne, nice to see you. Deanne says, I sold VXRT at 296. Oh, thank goodness. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. All right, well, let's get rid of that. Steve says, stocks I am watching going into the close. Facebook, IWB, SPY, KMX, and Nike. Well, we've got a few over there. Let's put some of the ones that Steve's that I don't have up there. IWB, KMX, and Nike. I have Nike over on this one here. Oh, the mRNA. mRNA. That's up 13%. Sold mRNA at $29.49. Okay. Oh, I know you made money on that one. Good. Steve says, no, just SPY for overnight trades. Okay. Seems to me I had heard that somebody, maybe it was Jackson, maybe it was somebody that actually did the back test and did find that it worked. I noticed Nike too, Steve. Okay. All right, so listen, before we go through my watch list and look at the potentials for today, this is the time of the day where I do like to talk about trader psychology. There's some really good Facebook channels out there, some really good Twitter channels out there that post some really good trading words of wisdom. Here's a new one, Pax Trader 777 at Pax Trader 777 on Twitter. So this was, I read this and I really thought it was helpful. So especially in this current market conditions, all traders need to remember trading is a marathon, not a sprint. These days can be year-making days and career-making days if you execute properly. They can also destroy many traders already have. Do not chase a move or lost money. There will be plenty more moves. Be here for them. Right, which is true. You know, I always talk about, you know, each trade is just one of the next 1,000 trades. You know, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not something you have to, you know, make all this money by this coming Friday. You know, look at trading as a long-term endeavor, not as a sprint. Like he said, a marathon, not a sprint. These days, you know, can be year-making and career-making days. They can with all this volatility, but it cuts both ways, and they can also destroyed traders already have. I'm sure there's been so many people that have blown up their account last week, especially trading with futures. Oh man, I hate it. But you know, the main thing is, you know, when you get punched in the face, even metaphorically, you want to fight back. And if you have a big loss in the market, boy, you want to get that money back and you want to get it back quick. But in my experience, whenever you have that mindset, that's when you're going to lose a lot more money. So, you know, like Pax Trader says, don't chase a move or the lost money. There'll be plenty more trades in the future. Just calm yourself down, stick with your plan, and don't chase things, right? Don't chase, don't try to double up, don't revenge trade. So anyway, Pax Trader 777, Pax Trader 777. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Frank says, today's poem was written to the memory of my friend Frankie Lane, who sang the theme to the TV Western Rawhide. No kidding? He sang that? I can just hear it in my head right now. Rawhide. Wow. Well, thanks for mentioning that. And thank you, Frankie, for singing such a great song on Rawhide growing up. Steve says, great volume on this rally. All right. Well, let me go down through my potentials here. All right, Dow Jones. I found this earlier, under 30, over 30. It's not quite over 30 at the moment. Even if it is, I'm not sure I'm going to take it, but we do have an under 30, over 30, and a V2 as well. So it's a possibility, so I'm just going to mark it. All right, here's Facebook. I think Steve and I both identified this one. did we go, I think we went under 30 Friday. I don't think we went under 30 today. We bounced right at it, but Facebook, I believe, does test well with the close over the 250-day moving average. Let's just take a quick look, see. All right. Let me switch this around here. All right, so here's the test on Facebook using the 250-day. Now, on this particular test, you have to close under and back over, but on Facebook here today, we didn't. We closed under Thursday, closed back over on Friday. Today it's still holding it. I don't like that it's down on an up day though. That's my one kind of knock against Facebook here at the moment. Home Depot, under 30, over 30, under the 200, over the 200, under the negative third ATR channel, over the negative third ATR channel. This is all pretty good, but my thoughts about this when I look at this, everyone, is that, you know, that 50-day moving average is pretty close. Doesn't mean it's going to reject it, but from a risk to reward ratio, if I kind of identify that as likely resistance, from here to here compared to here would be my stop. So to me, I feel like this one has moved a little bit too far, too fast. I feel like it would be a little chasey for me at this point. Intel a little better. We do have a V2, day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1, day 3 closes above day 1. So we do have a nice little V2 here. We rejected the negative 6th ATR channel and we went under 30, over 30, and the 200-day down below us. So I do kind of like Intel. My close would be a close below 30 RSI. So, you know, compared to like Home Depot was a 39 RSI, this is a 32.98 RSI. So if I'm wrong smaller, and we have better distance up to our 50-day moving average or 50 RSI. So I feel like this one gives a little better risk to reward. So I'm going to take Home Depot off of there. Johnson & Johnson, pretty good. Under the 200, over the 200, under the 30, over the 30. Pretty close to that 100-day moving average, but this one is definitely a potential. Coca-Cola had a big move under 30, over 30, but again, we're here to 36.70, 36.85, so little stretched for me on this one. All right, let's look at Nike. So Nike looks nice here. We have a nice strong move both above the 200-day and looks like the third ATR channel. We went under 30, over 30. It's a 34 RSI, so still in the lower types of RSI. So this one looks okay for sure. SSO, this is the double leverage SPY. You know, Friday we closed below the 200. Now we're we closed below the 250. Now it looks like we're closing above the 250. If we close there, you know, you can use this just as a mechanical trade. Whereas I'm just going to stay in this baby as long as it stays over the 250 or unless it rejects the 50 RSI or the 50-day moving average. If it rejected the 200-day moving average tomorrow above it, you could then go ahead and just use that as your trailing stop. If it closed above the 200, get out. I'm sorry, if it closed above the 200, stay in until it closes below the 200. So you'd be moving your stop up from the 250, a close below the 250 to a close below the 200. That would kind of be a trailing stop for you there. If it went up tomorrow, rejected it and came back down, that also might be a signal, you know, depending how you're approaching it. So this is definitely possible. We're at 29.99 right now. Now we're at 30.05. So this is definitely looks possible. United Healthcare, nice under 30, over 30, back over the 200, but I feel like this one is a little chasey. It's a little big. We're at a 41.26 RSI. We have the 10-day above us, so I'm probably just going to pass on UNH. United Healthcare looks pretty good. Nice V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2 washes out day 1, day 3 closing above day 1's close and closing back above the 200. We're still under a 35 RSI. So this one I do kind of like. Exxon. Well, we went under 30 over 30, definitely. But that's about all it has. And we've rallied into this big downtrend. I think I'm just going to let this one go. Now, let's just do another quick run through them. Then we'll take a look at Steve. So the Dow under 30, over 30, nice V2. This is possible. Definitely this is possible. Facebook is positive now. I think, honestly, I'm just going to wait to see if this closes above the 200-day moving average. I don't know. We'll see. I'll take a look at that one. I do kind of like Intel because of the V2 and the under 30, over 30. Johnson & Johnson is not bad. Doesn't have a V2, so I kind of like Intel a little better because of that reason. Nike, Nike I do like. To me, it has one of the best risk to rewards, and it has the 200 and the 250 below it. Let's take a look and see where the 30 RSI would be on this one. Right about here. So, you know, if you took this trade, you probably have a couple different options just to close below the 200. You could use that. You could use a close below the 250 if you wanted to give it a little bit more room. SSO closing above the 250 and back above the 30. I do kind of like that. And then XLV. It's moving on up with the V2. All right, let's take a look at IWB. One that Steve found. Yes, very good as well because we went under 30, over 30. And we went under the 250 and over the 200 as well. And a V2. And a V2 at the same time. So those all look good. Are we going to get 1,000-point day? We might get 1,000-point day, everybody. It's 940 points up. Wow. I've seen 1,000-point day one time before. That was back in 2018. Okay. And then lastly, here is CarMax. Did we close under 30 on Friday? Yeah, well, we went under 30, over 30 on Friday. All right. Has that 200-day above it. I think I like the Russell 1000 better. Sorry, let me just take a look here. Hey, Joe Turner is here. Good to see you, sir. Joe has a poem for us. He drove up in his car and then he had to park it. He walked into the house to check on the market. The market didn't know he was a minion and the market didn't care about his opinion. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Joe. So good. So good. Let me jot that one down. Okay. He drove up in his car and then he had to park it. He walked into the house to check on the market. The market didn't know he was a minion and the market didn't care about his opinion. Mount Doji says, Robinhood is broken all day. Too much volume. Andrea, hey, good to see you. Andrea says, wow, that's bad. Evan says, your 200 MA is so intimidating with that thick black line. Hard to take something below that line. Oh, that's true. I can make it thinner if it makes it look easier, Evan. Glenn says, Greg, do you use SMA or EMA for your averages? And why do you use SMA if that's your choice? You know, that's just how I was taught. But I do use SMAs and EMAs. I use SMAs on the 250, 200, 100, and the 50. I use EMAs on the 5, 10, and the 20. Andrea says, Mount Doji, all I have on RH is the one free share of Zynga. You got a free share of Zynga? Nice. Okay, well, let's look at current positions here. Okay, currently MasterCard looks A-okay. I was thinking about taking half or getting rid of the whole position, but now it's looking great. Microsoft, at this point, I don't have to get out of Microsoft because it looks like it is above the 50-day moving average. S&P, of course, going to buy that overnight. So I'm really going to have to whittle down here because if I'm keeping Microsoft and MasterCard, I have to take that into consideration when I'm looking at other potentials. So there's Dow Jones. Facebook is up slightly. I like the confluence of under 30, over 30, and the V2, and we're still above the 200. I do like that, and 33.97 on the RSI. So Intel is one of my favorites there today. With a close under 30 would be my initial stop. Johnson & Johnson does look good. We have that confluence of the third ATR channel, the negative third ATR channel, and the 100-day. So I'm going to take that one off. Nike looks pretty nice. I think those pro shares, I think it gives a pretty good risk to reward because it's a good back test, the under 250 over 250, and we now have an under close on Friday under, close above today, and an under 30 over 30. So I do kind of like that as well. Let me just make sure of something. Okay, that's correct. XLV up pretty nicely. IWB does make a lot of sense over here as well. The under the 250 and the 200 and the under the 30 and back over. Yeah, this IWM does offer a really good risk to reward ratio on this index. And then CarMax, well, I think I like IWB a little better just personally because we have the negative third ATR channel and the 100 right there. So I'm going to take that one off because I'm still going to have to whittle these down here. Take one more look through current positions. So far, MasterCard looks fine. Microsoft, if it closes over the 50, I'll keep it. SPY trade, of course, we'll take that overnight. SPY looks like it's breaking back above the 200-day, but I will have the overnight SPY trade also. Let me take a look and see where this 30 RSI would be tomorrow. Ooh, that's pretty close stop. That is pretty close. Intel, I like the under 30, over 30, and the V2, still above the 200-day, so it had a little bit better relative strength than most. I do like Nike. I think I'm gonna, yeah, this is a tough one. There are a lot of tough ones here today. Healthcare sector now getting a little extended. at a 36 RSI, getting a little extended up to the close. So I'm going to take that one off and keep whittling this down. Let's take a look at the weekly on Intel. You know, last week we had that big down day. Halfway of this bar here is probably going to act like some type of resistance. We're up 1,000 points, everybody. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. MasterCard's up 4.28%. Let me take a look here. Okay. Oh, look, hit the third profit target on MasterCard. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Evan says WM. Yeah, nice big move over the 200. I like some of the other ones better because it's in the lower 30s, but you know, V2 and it closed back over the 200. That's nice. And Lily. Yep. That's pretty good as well. 39 RSI is a little high, but not bad. Boy, a lot to pick from here. Okay, let me just run a couple numbers real quick. The Dow's up 1,125 points. I don't think I've ever seen that big of a day. Deanne, close the remaining Twitter shares. Okay. Well. I don't think I've had a day with so many potential entries here, but keeping in mind, right, I already have MasterCard, Microsoft, the SPY just by itself is under the 30 over the 30. I personally think I'm going to go with SSO. I like the under 30, over 30. It's double leverage S&P 500 if it closes over the 200-day. And Nike looks pretty good and Intel looks pretty good. But I think I like Nike the best. I think I like Nike and the SSO the best. And IWB is perfect also. All right. So I'm just gonna look at this one more time here. Under 30, over 30 with a V2. Pluses, under 30, over 30 with the V2. Minuses, we still have the 200-day above us. That I don't like as much, so I am going to take that off. Facebook, I'm starting to like Facebook better now with this close above the 200-day moving average. Intel's a little close to that 200, so I am going to take that one off. Nike still has some room to go there. I think I'm going to go with Facebook and SSO. So that is what I'm going to do. Nike's getting a little extended there. Those give good risk to rewards. The 200 and the 200. They give the best risk to rewards for me right now. So that's what it looks like. Man, MasterCard is just cranking. Holy smokes. Microsoft is just cranking. It could reject the 50 RSI. SPY's in, so overnight, that's fine. Apple's up 23 bucks. Steve says, I just got to all equity highs and went bargain shopping. Boy, is that the right time to do it, Steve, isn't it? That's the best feeling ever. 100%. So Facebook and Pro, the SSO, the double leveraged. All right. MasterCard looks fine. Microsoft, did we reject the 50? Not quite. Nope, 49.21. Interesting. coming off a little bit. Boy, I'm in shock to the upside. The other day I was in shock because we were down 1,100 points. Now we're up 1,200 points. It's amazing. I'll tell you what, I am going to take Microsoft off. It got right there to the 50 and basically rejected, and the 10-day moving average. I am going to take this one off just to lock in the profit. MasterCard is fine. It still has some ways to go. Facebook closing over the 200. Looks good. SSO still above. So I'm not going to go crazy here, buy too many things. Had a really nice day. Want to not go chasing, right? I'm going to add something with close risk to with good risk to reward ratios, and that's about all I'm going to do. So, okay. I am going to go ahead and add Facebook here. Okay. And SSO. Okay. Facebook over here. And SSO. And I am going to sell Microsoft. Oh, where did it go? 285. Okay. So it's closing in 1 minute. Oh, now I'm keeping Microsoft. It didn't close below the 50, or it's still above the 50, so I will keep that also. Oh, now I'm going to sell it. If it closes below the 50, that's going to be right on the border. Whoa, what a day, everybody. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a wonderful day. Holy smokes. All right. So SPY 30909. SSO 136.74, and Facebook 196.04. Okay, so SPY 30909. That's the new overnighter. SSO. $136.74. So we got a good price on that one already. And then Facebook with the close over the 200-day. 196.04. Okay, so SSO. My stop here is going to be close under the 200, giving myself a really quick, short stop below me. MasterCard, 3 profit targets today. Actually, almost hit a 4th one, but I didn't have it in. But what, up 5.74%. Microsoft did stay above the 50-day moving average, so I did hit 3 profit targets. If we have a close below the 50, that will be my stop. SPY, overnight SPY trade, and then Facebook, the close over the 200-day, giving myself a good tight stop there. So wow, what a day. What an unbelievable day. How did everyone do today? Interested to know. I know Steve had a good day. John says, December 18 had huge rally during decline. Hey, John, good to see you. Yes, that's true. You know, we have to, that's why what I took today had such short stops or close stops underneath me, because a lot of times in bear markets, you do have big major rallies that suck people in. I mean, of course, we don't know if that's going to be the case, but very good point. Glenn says, daily bounce of 3-4% are normally seen in bear markets, not bull markets. I agree. Being he got Nike at 92.66. Thanks, Steve and Greg. Let's take a look at. Let's go ahead and put Nike in here. Okay. $92.66. Okay, that's Bing He. Okay. Kamal says, I bought IWB. Oops. Okay. Good, Kamal. We got you down there. Nike, we'll put you over here with Bing He. And Facebook over here with me. Okay. Bob is in on Intel. We'll just put Bob. Okay. Being here says, I wonder how you guys made decisions to buy so fast. I check for multiple confluence of signals, and if there is few positions I am interested, I become confused which one is the best setup. Well, Bing He, we all have our process, and just stick with what feels comfortable for you. Just because everyone else bought something doesn't mean it's the right decision for you. Just make sure you have confluences if that's what you're looking for, which are always good, of course. And, what I was kind of concentrating today was stop losses that were pretty close underneath me if I was wrong. And that's why I went with Facebook with the close under the 200, giving me a really quick stop if I'm wrong. And with SSO, give me a really quick stop if I'm wrong. So I did not take a full position, gamer, on SSO because SSO is double leveraged, right? So it's 2 times whatever the SPY moves. So it did close above the 200-day. So I took a half position, but taking a half position is still like taking a full position. If it would have triggered for some reason under the 200, I would have taken a half position, but because this is double leverage, I would have taken a quarter position. Hope that makes sense, Gamer. Deanne says, beautifully. Steve Burns says, I am shocked. My account is up so much in dollars on my small positions and buying during the last 30 minutes of the day. I know, this is insane. I mean, let's look at the cues in the last few minutes. I mean, is this right? Yeah, that's right. That's what happened on Friday. You remember when I think I bought about 5 minutes before and it had already gone up like a couple bucks on 2 stocks that I bought just in that last couple hours. Kamal says, Greg, can you remove PM from your board? Yes, sir. Hey, and I want to say hello to Harsh out there. Harsh is my new client back on the East Coast. Very nice gentleman, really, really smart guy. Works for a major investment bank, and we had our first lesson last night. So that was really good, and I think you did really great, Harsh. Kamal, Steve says, biggest gain since 2009. Wow. That's crazy. So Facebook's down a little after hours. SPY is down. It's down after hours. SSO down after hours. So we'll see what happens. But what a day. Fantastic day. And boy, I'm sure glad to hear some of you were able to get in on that. And a lot of signals. We had some great signals Friday on MasterCard. If you remember, this was a great one. This was under the 30, over the 30, under the 200, over the 200, plus a V1. And boy, what a nice three profit targeters. Hey, Jackson, good to see you, buddy. Jackson slept in a little bit. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And then MasterCard, was just that nice confluence of the under 30, over 30, under the 100, over the 100. And that was 3 profit targets also. Probably hit 4 profit targets, but I only put 3 in. Now, let's take a look at this just one more time. On SSO, close below the 200, I'm out of there. MasterCard, rejection of the 50-day moving average or the 50 RSI or a close now below the previous day's low, I am out of there. Microsoft, we're at 50.11. If we close under 50, I am out of there. SPY, it's just the mechanical overnight SPY trade. And Facebook, if we close below the 200-day, I am also out of there. So I feel pretty good about these positions, feel good about the gains that had today. And just glad that some of you have been making some money today. Steve. Okay, so Steve went long KMX. Let's get Steve up on the board here. I'm just kind of guessing at the price here, Steve. So Steve Burns, boom. Nike. Kamal and Bing He, you are in good company with Steve over here. I spelled Bing He's name wrong. Sorry about. Okay. It says I already have IWB. Oh, yeah, right. Steve Burns is right there. And Facebook. Okay. Steve, by the way, on your Nike trade, maybe just so other people can hear what you say, what is going to be your stop on Nike? What is it going to be on IWB? And what is your stop going to be on CarMax? I have an idea, but I don't want to speak for you. Jackson says, been tweaking and back in today. Bing, he says, Greg, did you not take Nike because the stop loss too wide, 200 SMA is about 2.39% from the entry for Nike, which is still within my tolerance of 3%, but I prefer. Yeah, ideally, when I go under 30, over 30, I like to buy it somewhere between 30 and 35. And here it's 38.07. And that is the reason that I did not get in. So yes, very similar to what you just said. Jackson said, haha, no sleeping, just concentrating. But what a day. Unbelievable. What did you buy, Jackson? Kamal is asking. Boeing up huge today. Apple up 25 points. It's insane. It's insane. It's crazy. Bruce, if you're out there listening, Carnival up big from entry. And the Boeing trade up big from entry. Wow. 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 I am literally blown away. Oh, Apple's down $1.80 after hours. Facebook's down 45 cents. Spy's down $2.50. That's not good. And SSO is down $2. So we're down quite a bit in after hours. But, with the move we had today, you can definitely expect some back selling and backfilling and things like that. But we'll have to see how it holds up. Jackson says, hey, Kamal, UPro. A lot of code rules around it. Plans and rules. Cool. UPro and for the WLN. For the win. For the win. Oh, UPro. Is that an overnight trade for you, Jackson? So there's the UPro. That is the triple leveraged triple leverage SPY. If you remember correctly, I bought SSO, which is the double leverage, and then just a regular overnight SPY trade is the SPY. So anyway, I don't know if you heard me, Jackson, and no pressure, but if you are able to respond, is that UPRO an overnight SPY trade or is that a entry? Because it did close above the 200-day, giving you an exceptionally close 200-day stop if you are wrong, which I really like to see. Jackson says, Greg, you mentioned about Dr. J coming to Australia. Yes, he is going to Australia in the very near future. Are you I can't remember now. Are you in Melbourne, Jackson? Jackson says it is, but it's not the same as SPY. Overnight trade though. Wow, what an unbelievable day. So listen, if anybody has any other questions, please let me know. And I'll definitely get to that. I do want to hurry and quickly put in my plug today, and hope that's okay. But just want to let everybody know that I do teach private one-on-one teaching and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I do have a course, and again, it's one-on-one. 5 sessions. Each session is somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, and I do it in the evening time via Skype. I teach you everything I've learned over all the years I've been trading. I teach you everything I've learned from all my coaches and mentors like Stephen Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder and Kerry Lavorne and Larry Williams, and how I've kind of put these all together in my own kind of approach, my own kind of kung fu. But I do teach it, like I said, it's 5 sessions. Each session is between 2 and 3 hours. The first part of each session, I do teach the lesson. The second part, I basically have you teach it back to me. I ask you a lot of questions. I throw you a lot of curveballs. We look at a lot of charts. We do a lot of chart study. I ask you, what's good here? What's bad here? Is there a good risk to reward ratio, bad risk to reward ratio? Where's your entries? Where's your stops? And so it's, I think it's a really good course. And, my previous students have seemed to be very, very happy with it. And so if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. My email's in the description of this video. Or you can send me a message on Twitter as well. And, if you do, I like to have a Skype call, initial Skype call with a prospective student. And it's free. There's no pressure. There's no obligation. I just want to see if we're a good match. You can ask me any questions that you'd like, and then I ask you questions about your trading and what your challenges have been, what your goals are, and we'll just see if we're a good fit. And then if we are, then we'll just go ahead and schedule the lessons for the future. Like I said, I just had our first lesson last night with Harsh. And so I think it went really great, and looking forward to our next lesson as well. So if you're interested, reach out to me, email in the description, or send me a message on Twitter, and we'll set up that Skype call. So, and also, if you like today's podcast, if you're finding it helpful, if you find this channel helpful, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you like today's content helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button on the way out before you leave. It really does help the channel, and that would be great if you could, if you liked it, but only if you like it. Okay. Oh, okay. So Jackson has a slightly different rules around position size. Do not trade rules. Gotcha. Okay. Melbourne, yes. Overnight trade, yes. Okay, great. Wow, what a day. What a day. So just last time through SSO, I bought above the 200, giving me a close stop if I'm wrong. Otherwise, I'll be targeting up here 50 RSI, 50-day moving average. MasterCard, 3 profit targets today. At this point, I will be looking for a rejection of the 50-day moving average up there or a 50-day RSI, which either one comes first. Microsoft, we did close above the 50-day moving average or the 50 RSI, so now that is my new trailing stop with the close below the 50. Of course, my students know this if they remember from their classes. So here we're at 50.11. So even if we move back down a little bit tomorrow, I will be out. SPY, that's mechanical, just overnight. Sell that tomorrow morning. And then Facebook, nice under 30, over 30. Rejected the negative third ATR channel over the 200. So if I'm wrong small here with the close under the 200. All right. Well, that sounds like that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just leave you with what I say every day, and that is please go ahead and try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or say hello or just a nice gesture. It really could make a big difference in their the rest of their day. Like Dr. Jorgensen. Dr. Jorgensen was out driving yesterday, saw a cyclist out there with a flat tire, stopped by, helped him out, which was nice. So thanks for doing that, Dr. Jorgensen. I'm sure the guy appreciated that. That was nice of you. Jackson says, I'll catch up on your live cast in the reruns. Gossett Trading is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Yeah, I guess it kind of is. Evan, Tesla. Okay. Well, look, I mean, it's up 11% today. Pretty awesome, right? Look, we had a nice bounce at the 50-day moving average. We did have support there. I don't really see a trade here. We didn't go under 30 or over 30. We did have a V2. Here's day one. Here's day two. Day two washes out day one, closes above them, but we had this big gap, but we filled it a little bit. I personally, okay, so these are my thoughts right here. And this goes for a lot of charts right now. Okay, people that were fortunate enough to buy this dip, if it starts moving up and starts rolling back over, people will have their finger on the trigger and they'll most likely get out fairly quickly. So on Tesla, we came down below the value zone into the value zone. I'd like to see this come, maybe even go up another day. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but then have a couple days down and then look for that higher low V1, because the people that bought here, if it starts to get a little weak, they're going to sell. That will cause selling pressure. But if we can get a new group of buyers coming in, forming a higher low V1 or V2 within the value zone, then those buyers are in it for the longer term. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this bounce failed. Right? I really wouldn't. And that's why what I bought today was so close with the stops underneath. So, but long story short, I would not do anything personally here with Tesla. Let's quickly look at the Tesla back test. Using the 520 EMA. I'm not sure how this back test, this is from etfreplay.com, by the way, and I'm using this by permission. Doesn't backtest that well. It only backtests 781% compared to 3,256, and the drawdown is actually more using this approach than just buy and hold. So that's not a good backtest. So, I was going to say, 520 crossover might be your spot, but being what I just looked at the results, I don't think I would use that. Okay. Well, listen, thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Go out, do something nice. And like I said, if you could hit the thumbs up button before you leave, I would really, really appreciate that. I guess that's it. Historic day today. Dow Jones up 1,293 points. Unbelievable. So anyway, every once in a while, we hit a nice day, right? So, okay, take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.